Hey guys, Mike Hedlesky here. Somebody asked me a question. I wrote something a while back about having a bunch of injuries in the past. I try to put videos out that have some sort of like applicable information that somebody can use. This is going to be one that probably won't have any of that, but hopefully somebody can find something useful. Just kind of going through the timeline of all the injuries I've had to deal with over the years. Okay, I don't even know where the hell to start. How bad is that? Um, I grew up on a farm, grew up on a horse farm, and that caused me to have two hernias. One was repaired in fifth grade. Nothing's cooler to a fifth grader boy than having his balls swell up to the size of goddamn Nebraska. So that was fun dealing with that as a child. So got that repaired in fifth grade. Then I actually had an umbilical hernia that I never got really taken care of, and it came back to kind of bite me in the ass when I went to college. I was squatting one day, starting to get a little stronger and stuff, and then that umbilical hernia actually started to split a little bit, and part of my intestine was being pushed through there. Now I have about a 6-inch diameter titanium mesh screen hooked up in there, keeping everything on the inside from spilling outside horrifically. So after that, I played sports all growing up and everything. Nothing too crazy. Just going through high school. Never really sustained too many serious injuries, but I chronically rolled my ankle for the 4 years I played football in high school. I just never really thought anything of it. I'm a shitty athlete. I'm not very good at anything. So I'm running like a dumbass, and it just caused me to roll my ankle all the time. So just figuring it wasn't anything too major, I actually ended up sustaining almost like a condition. It's called an osteochondral defect, which is actually kind of a rare thing. And I had to get an experimental surgery done on that my freshman year of college, where they had to drill into one of the bones in my ankle to make my body think that I broke it, just to get some blood flowing in there, promote kind of kickstart a more controlled healing process. And that took forever. I couldn't really do anything the whole first semester I was at college. So then after that, just normal football stuff. I ended up tearing my LCL in my left knee. I never got that fixed, but it really fires up if I squat with Olympic shoes for some reason. So I had two surgeries on that left ankle to get that taken care of. Had a had a hole punching competition in the wall of my kitchen in college. I lost because my hole actually had a stud behind it. So that was a stupid thing to do. Wasn't any alcohol involved in that whatsoever. Clean sober. We were just talking about good study habits, and decided to start punching holes in the walls. And no, everybody was absolutely hammered. So that was kind of stupid. But now I have a plate and 6 screws in my right hand, which actually is supposed to limit the amount of weight I can hold on to. And I still notice some things. They cut through some nerves and stuff. Like I'll get funny feelings once in a while, but it really doesn't affect anything. But that. It should have been a career-ending injury as far as lifting and everything, and I've done nothing but get stronger since that got repaired in 2004, maybe. That hernia I originally mentioned, that got repaired in 2005. That was probably the worst thing to recover from because I wasn't feeling too bad when I woke up. They pretty much had to gut me and put a screen in my stomach. When I woke up from that, kind of groggy and everything, the next day, I had to sneeze, and it came on kind of suddenly, and I didn't have anything to kind of brace against or like push a pillow on it like you're supposed to when you sneeze and cough. So I sneezed, and I was looking for sharp things to kill myself with. That was the worst pain I've ever felt in my whole entire life. So from there, moving on to football ending and lifting stuff, I've torn my adductor magnus and my bicep femoris in my right leg. That was a bitch, and that still gives me problems now because I know I've got something, some kind of crystalline something built up in there, just something that kind of calcified over. Because when I dig a lacrosse ball in there, like jam a barbell like really high up into my hip, it feels like just someone just broke open a bag of pop rocks in there or something. It's pretty gnarly. It really didn't give me too much problem. I had to take a couple of weeks off of heavy just deadlifting for that. It didn't really affect squatting. That was a couple of years ago. I don't even remember. Probably the two biggest injuries I've had with involving lifting. other than normal aches and pains. Like if you lift heavy shit all the time, you're going to get messed up. The two worst ones for sure was an injury I didn't take care of when I was playing football. I ended up taking a helmet in my back. I didn't really think anything of it. Everything swelled up, bruised up really bad. Went and saw the trainer at my school. They said, no big deal. Just got a dinger in there. Well, I found out shortly after that, football was over. I was really focusing on powerlifting, and powerlifting was going really well. I actually squatted the most I ever have in a meet raw. I squatted 667 as a junior, and just smoked it and was feeling pretty good. That's the most I've ever done in a competition, so I was pretty excited about that. So I'm doing some rack pulls in a gym, and like I said, everything was going pretty good. I hit like a 950 rack pull below my knee. Stand up with the thing, no problem. Go to put it back down, and I just blacked out. Totally blacked out. Woke up on the floor. Had a hard time moving around for about 2 weeks, but I managed to get in to see a doctor in the in-between time, and it turned out that helmet caused some kind of fracture in my L3 that never healed correctly in my lumbar spine, and that rack pull actually, something in my back contracted so hard that it ripped part of the bone off. So I actually had an avulsion fracture of my spine doing rack pulls. So that's reason number 10,015 why I don't fucking like rack pulls. But I mean, that was more, that really had nothing to do with lifting. So I had to just deal with that after the fact because I didn't take care of it in the first place because I'm a stupid meathead. So the second kind of big injury I've had was last year. I couldn't squat all of 2014 pretty much. Still managed to do 630 in a meet in March last year, but really I couldn't train squats for the whole year because I incurred a sports hernia. Now it's a really weird occurrence for that to happen in sports that aren't super high velocity, super high impact. But I found out that I actually have a kind of a genetic hip condition that makes it so that little ligament that keeps both sides of your hips together in the front, that pubic symphysis, actually starts growing a little out of whack. Can even get some holes in it and become a little too flexible. So that happened to me, and it's only really starting to kick in now, or last year or so, and that actually put my hips in such a position that every time I would come up out of the hole on a squat, my hip angle was changing each time I was doing it pretty much, and just the velocity to which my hip adductors, those internal kind of hip rotation muscles and stuff on the inside of your hips, on the inside of your thighs, they were contracting so hard, they were pulling little bits of hip bone off with them. So avulsion fractures number 2 through about 3,000, I think. So the problem with that is there's one guy that does a surgery in the whole country for that, and he lives in Pennsylvania, and he only takes cash, and it's about $8,000. And it sounds like the shit happens in a van behind like a Kmart or something. I don't know. So I decided to deal with it. And when you don't get surgery, it's a 6 to 12 month recovery time. So it was right around that 12-month mark before I started being able to squat again. So I mean, kind of took that time just to take it easy, and I'm back into it now, which feels pretty good. So I'm taking a little bit more time off. I just don't want to push it. Hopefully my next full meet will be in October, and that'll be the USAPL Raw Nationals, and I'm really trying to get a spot on the world team again because that was a really cool experience. Just this year, Worlds is in majestic Killeen, Texas, which if you've never been there, I suggest you just keep fucking driving if you accidentally take a wrong turn and end up anywhere near that place. So it's not a whole lot going on in Killeen, Texas. So yeah, and then right now just dealing with a stupid shoulder soreness thing that won't go away, and like my hamstrings are tight. But I mean, if you're going to incur some kind of little ache and pain if you're, if you do this stuff for long enough. And I just turned 30 this year, and like, I don't know, everyone's telling me, oh, your body falls apart as soon as you hit 30, you're going to stop doing this stuff. Well, it's that 2 days after I turned 30, all of a sudden I have a cyst in my knee that has to get drained. So that's bullshit. Getting old's bullshit. So yeah, hopefully, I don't know, just 3 or 4 of those things were all things that people told me I wasn't going to be able to come back and lift with, and I'm here now, and I'm getting stronger. I'm actually right now I'm probably stronger than I've ever been. So I just want to keep this going, stay healthy. Like I said, go and wreck shit in October. Yeah, thanks for the question. Feel free to ask anything else you want to know. Anything I did for any of those recovery time periods. I mean, just lots of physical therapy and stuff. But I really learned a whole hell of a lot about coming back from injuries, especially pretty significant ones. So feel free to ask. I have no problem telling you what I did. Obviously, I'm not a fucking doctor, so if you try this stuff and like kill yourself, that's your own problem, I guess. But yeah, anyway, let me know. Thanks. Oh, I'm still going. God